There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talk about podcast and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. Qualified people who willing to sell. Blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The brothers giving us the end of premise of them. So welcome my life without again.
I live
Master.
Clepali suome kanyo ake Sktv benyo. Sema cheni tina ke asema jamu. Engi sano muni emu aye yo. Engi lofa mori emu aye yo.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandfather.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I don't get it now ya to money. That's the baby, and I don't get it now. Cause you walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandfather.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. Qualified people who willing to sell. The blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and I promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From grandfather Nima to Lufa, from River Sass, River G to Chide, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Monserrat, San to Bakulu, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
University of Liberia Student Union, Capitol Hill Campus, Monrovia, Liberia. University of Liberia Student Union demands immediate resumption of work by 43 lawmakers in the majority bloc of the National Legislature. The University of Liberia Student Union also calls upon the 43 lawmakers within the majority bloc of the National Legislature to immediately resume their legislative duties and fulfill their mandate. Unacceptable that elected representatives have left their legislative chambers without fulfilling their responsibilities to address the pressing issues facing our nation. As students and concerned citizens, we stand for the principles of accountability, transparency, and commitment to public service. We remind these lawmakers that they are entrusted by the people to act in the nation's interest, particularly in these challenging times when decisive leadership and legislative actions are essential. The University of Liberia Student Union demands the following. 1, the immediate resumption of duties. We insist that all 43 lawmakers in the majority bloc return to their legislative roles without delay to attend to matters of national interest, including critical issues affecting the economy, education, healthcare, and security. Number 2, commitment to public welfare. The well-being of the Liberian people must be the foremost priority of the legislature. We urge these lawmakers to dedicate themselves to their roles and provide the necessary oversight and legislative support needed to ensure stability and progress for all Liberians. Number 3, accountability and transparency. We call for transparency in their actions and decisions. Any prolonged absence from duty undermines the public's trust and weakens the integrity of our democratic institutions. The people of Liberia, especially the youth and student community, are closely watching this situation. Right? We are preparing to take appropriate and lawful actions, including mass peaceful protests in the coming days, should there be continued neglect of legislative responsibilities. Also stands united in this call for action. We urge that all stakeholders, civil groups, and citizens to join us in holding our leaders accountable. Liberia's progress depends on the active and responsible participation of its elected officials. Signed, Leadership, University of Liberia Student Union.
Manda, wait, manda, wait, manda, wait, manda, wait, manda, wait, manda, wait. Also said those people must step down there, also for all the ones who are on to step down, must stop and say, because they pay them back in that bro, Luther.
Well, indeed, you're listening to News Bulletin. The very next time you hear news on this station will be at 8 o'clock on tonight, by which time we'll bring you 45 minutes of news. Coming from our newsroom, Truth FM 96.1. And so, what happened, what going on indeed. Yes. So again, folks, we are back, but we sincerely apologize to all of our viewers. Sometimes it's not easy. But again, sometimes when you can go glitches, it's not only on the funness maybe aspect that we're talking about glitches, but there are some technical glitches, some technical situations that will happen, especially when the kind of world that we live in, a technology world. So again, welcome back after the news break. We are continuing. Yes. So thanks to all of you who rejoining us through the internet, and those of you who've been following us via the radio. I want to say thanks to all of you for always indeed. Sorry, though. Yeah. You moved through a city, Mesa. You're sorry. Yeah. Something just slipped. People just sent some of the money. So we got to, deactivate to activate. So again, so many things happening, but yes, Monk, I sent you the link. Oh, the new, yes. Check, Monk. Come on now quickly so that we can talk about this and move on now to our listeners. Yeah, the internet world is not easy, so we got to do some things, do some work. But again, thanks to you all for your love, Rebecca, Garcia, and Life for Fana. Yes, indeed, all of you are so lovely, so interesting. And you move through Asadu Mensa. check out quick, my brother. Check out quick, Monk. Come on. So again, tomorrow, Lamont said, and that's the fact. Tomorrow, the government of Liberia will be presenting the budget to the speaker. That's just the case. So, I would have a more to come have some questions to ask because there were meeting today. Yes, even though I was a little bit been busy, but I've still following out on some of the training issues. There were meeting held on today between the anti-COFA block and that of the pro-COFA block on today. And we didn't know how far, but according to information, that meeting didn't end well. That is, the people still remain resolute to say, yes, indeed, we agree that we are not supporting COFA side and COFA group. They are saying, okay, no wahala. say you people are not willing to join us into the chamber or into our place, the place will always be, no problem, will be on our side. But then again, the mom will say, Mom, you got to come and help. Yeah, check out quick, Mom. Yeah, check out and come and help. So many, because if this budget on tomorrow, if the budget is presented to the speaker on tomorrow, and there's nothing to do about it, because the speaker will hold it. So the speaker going to hold the budget, and he will be waiting for the budget to be discussed bit by bit. Those who have their own budget lines to talk about before other things. But, the documents. So the document tomorrow, the speaker will definitely receive the document according to information I'm getting that on tomorrow, because he's the real speaker. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, man, just have it. Yeah, he's the real speaker. Yeah, man. Who be this? Yeah, Monk come, because before the question went from my mind. Okay, Monk. Yeah, man, my brother do. Because I want to know how would people be, yeah, people are fighting, then at the end of the day, the other group going so. Because other people keep saying, maybe this thing was sponsored by the executive. Allegedly, what they were saying, yeah, the president know about it. So how can I tomorrow now the president become the budget to the speaker? So myself, I won't ask Monk these questions. If we say that, or if the people, or if there's allegations that the executive know, but mind you, the executive is big, though. They have the president, they have the vice president, they have all. Yeah, they have so many people make of the entire executive. So, but the president is the head for that entire executive branch. So, if the president don't know anything about it, then who behind all of these things? Mark, you got to come on. I got to ask you this question: who behind all of these fights that holding Liberia hostage, that making this controversial as we speak? Because we have so many things to talk about, so many things to do, but because of the one speaker thing, today we take, or in fact, we are taking nearly 2 weeks talking about the one speaker removal of speaker. People are having their own camp. They are coming like high school students. Let me see. Yeah, Monk is here. Yeah, thank you, Monk. Monk, thank God that you're back.
Yeah, that the technology, it's always never 100% right. You just have to keep making adjustments. You cannot control it. You can only react to it.
Wonderful. I like that. You see, and that's the thing, because Monk, I can still recall few, I don't know, last year or year before last, it's on Facebook, shut down for a few hours. Monk, it's not easy though.
Even Facebook themselves can shut down. The thing about technology is you are only hoping that it works, and you want to make sure that it work most of the time, but not all the time, because the way, look, you are dealing with 1 and 0s. It's all binary. So even some of the internet service providers that can experience outages. So nobody can stop that.
Yeah, Mark. So without budgeting, I'm very concerned, because I'm seeing some news also. I don't know what are the news of something. I'm a letter. They say coming from Ministry of Defense. We don't like to talk too much about security issues, about pay and so on. But Mark, with the budget wahala now, and we go alone, where do we go from now on? Because if the budget is presented on tomorrow, and the 30 members make of the pro-COFA group cannot do anything about this budget, then where do we go, Monk?
I love the timing, because maybe the budget will bring more publicity to this thing and bring more about attention. Because don't forget, that the largest instrument in the entire government is the budget. Everybody depends on that budget for survival. So, and they only inviting the speaker, I think, just for deliberation between the executive and the first branch of government, or the lower house. I mean the house. And it's not the official summation of the budget. They just call me. I think they sort of meet to the ministerial complex to go and review and do some deliberation, because that's how they start the entire budget process. But now with the budget being involved, looking at the timing, maybe more people will start getting concerned. Like you got students that keep telling you at the end of the day, if these guys cannot put their egos aside and come together and do something and avert the whole crisis, the Liberian people, maybe they might be the one to get involved, and we might just see something different that will happen. Because like you can say, man, the university, the hospital, the teacher, the police people, everybody depending on that one budget. And some people got a theory that it's about control of the budget that this thing is even happening. Because our lawmaker, when it comes to stealing from the Liberian people, now where they can go into the committee room to steal. So now the very instrument that they need to steal now is coming full surface. So maybe, and just maybe, the timing is right that we're having a constitutional crisis, or we are walking into a constitutional crisis, and it just within time for the submission of the budget, and it will bring a lot of attention. It will put pressure on them to deliver, because people know that if you cannot get the budget going, then it means the entire country is being held hostage. So the only thing I'm happy for the budget, the timing, as to how it coincides with the debacle happening in the House. So maybe more and more people will start getting involved, and maybe the Supreme Court at a certain point in time will have to step in, because now we are getting to the constitutional crisis part. Now we're not talking about the leadership now. We are walking there slowly, and we are getting there. We are closer to showtime. That's why I think, from what I'm looking at.
Wonderful. I'm seeing this things circulating on the social media, saying that disbursement delays in salary disbursement for the month of October. That's the kind of I don't know, is that internal memo or something will send out, maybe to inform the soldiers. But this thing keeps circulating, so we got to chip in a little. I'm going to tag you into it so that you can see, or even you can go to Sekou Kalasco Damara page. He's the one that just posted it. So I don't know why you can go there. But more, this is becoming too embarrassing though, that people are already complaining about salary delay and no pay, even the cut of salaries and so forth. And the little one that they are also depending on will, because mind you, we are entering into the season. Anytime from now on, the entire month or days that will be going, it will be the festive season and so forth. And nothing good will be happening there. For example, when it comes to the government, the only thing that after a few days, you will hear that government will be going for break. For Monk, now go back. Are you sensing like the government is creating tension for herself, or what?
Maybe, I don't know if that's the government creating tension for himself. I don't know. At a certain point in time, maybe the president will get involved. And there are people who believe that some folks in the executive are part of this whole quagmire of the event happening in the House. But it's just not good for the country. Either way you look at it, whether it's from the political standpoint, whether it's about power maneuvering, about people trying to put their personal ambition ahead of the country. At the end of the day, my only thing I will keep saying, maybe I just don't see a point where in one side is going to give up. And that's why I want to see the constitutional crisis aspect of this thing, not the leadership part. Because I said it from the beginning of the show, and I always say that there is a two-part series to the whole speakership thing. And some people believe that, one of my senior brother, Mr. Dishi, always say, he says, Cyrus, you got to think way ahead of what you are saying now. And some of the lawmakers even insinuated that it's about control of the budget. Now we're talking about the next budget year being on the table. And these guys, if they are all about money, why make you think that they will be into two separate fashions at this particular point in time, when in fact you're talking about money on the table and it's about control? So, and you said it right. And even Yeke Koluba always keep saying it. Most of these things happen in the committee room. And who is trying to be on committees here? Because if money is going to be changing hands in the committee room, then it's all about power struggle. So how do you bring the case against the speaker that you want to remove him when you are making the case that you lost confidence in the speakership or in the leadership of the speaker? And there are corruption allegations. That is what they think is kind of a milky. You cannot make sense of it because at the end of the day, we are yet to get a clearer picture as to the reason why we have a divided house. Everything is based on speculation. Everything about, oh, it happened in the past. It happened to Snow. It happened to Speaker Tyler. So we're supposed to accept it because it happened. Some people that work there, former lawmakers, are saying we went down this road before, even though the other group claim to have legitimacy, but at the end of the day, the speaker will be the loser. So, maybe until we get to that constitutional crisis part, I won't want to keep speculating. We cannot keep speculating. The only thing I'm saying when it comes to the budget is the timing, because everybody depends on that one budget. Now, with the budget argument coming into the picture, the one thing that I know, it will gather more support, it will gather more public sentiment, it will bring more about publicity because everybody depends on that national budget. That's all I can tell you for now.
So that means that, for example, the angry civil servants who've been thinking about their salary going up and up to date, there is no any pronouncement as to what's going to happen for them, either in the new budget or maybe in the previous budget, and government pushing them because, mind you, though, before we go to the meetings that were held today between the two parties, it's just so interesting. One party turned to two by. So before we go to their meetings, because I understand today that in fact they have a meeting or a negotiation meeting between the anti-COFA bloc and that of the pro-COFA bloc. But Mom, are the government pushing the civil servants against their will or what? Because if somebody is making something around 125, 130, and you are dangling and you are like making fun or something.
Maybe the longer the thing drags on, the further it gets to a crisis, and it will get other people involved. Now you're talking about delay in salary disbursement. Don't forget we got a Christmas that is right around the corner. The month ends tomorrow, and in the next 60 days, you will have the holiday season coming around. If you get a kind of a quagmire happening between I won't say between the executive in the house, and maybe I will keep saying it over and over again. I don't know which side is going to give up. I know Fanatic Cover is not going to throw in the towel because if those guys believe that the speaker is going to resign, maybe he might recuse himself if they say they can bring an indictment against him. But even if you were to bring an indictment against the speaker, it's still a long process. You got to give him due process. He got to defend himself before those 49 can come out to say, you know what, we are taking you out, and you have to come up with a number. So at the end of the day, Melbourne, I don't know, but the one thing that I will keep saying is when the budget comes into this thing, it's only going to increase the flames. It's only going to bring more public sentiment with respect to who should be the legitimate group or not. I know, maybe, except our people, I know in a constitutional democracy, or however you want to call it, the people are the one that are giving the power. The only reason in Liberia we don't understand the power that is given to the people, we think that the elected officials, the people who supposed to be the employees, we think that they are the employers. So maybe when the thing keep getting worse, where the Supreme Court will get involved, where there will be public sentiment, civil society, and other organizations will come into the picture, then maybe it will reach tipping point. And when it reaches tipping point, then the people who call themselves the majority black will have to show their hands. That is, you should give us a reason or legitimate reason why you want to remove the speaker, and remove the speaker. But the whole idea that you can play delay tactics, and maybe the speaker will say he's going to resign, or maybe he could potentially recuse himself from any investigation. You cannot keep playing that game, because when the pressure starts mounting on you now from a legitimate standpoint, the Liberian people will start being sympathetic to Fanatic Cover because he's still the legitimate speaker. He may not be able to call for a quorum, but at the end of the day, on paper, the Constitution gave him that authority. So I don't know. The longer it drags on, the more concern it draws, and the more people will get involved. And when the more people get involved, the more sympathetic they will be to the legitimate speaker, and then maybe that will trigger the real constitutional crisis when they bring an indictment against the speaker. That's how I'm saying it.
Wonderful. So the numbers to call, Monk, should we not go to the lines and interact with our people? Monk.
So maybe you can take a few calls because the time frame, I mean, we're off for a little while. So maybe 3 or 4, just to get some feedback from our people. You know, we learn from them a lot. So let's see where they stand here as to the budget and why it's happening.
Good evening. Yeah, my brother, go ahead, your name and from where you join us.
Yeah, maybe on this David King, I join you from my priority highway resident.
Go ahead, David.
Maybe, you know, we are getting tired with this entire saga. Every day we listen to the radio. There's nothing about our country development, but all we hear about the Billionaire Club, how they will be moving against tomorrow to the Capitol building. Now, like I said to you yesterday, we are going to be over there tomorrow in making sure that we compel these people to work for us. Now, we're not going to beg. We're going to demand those guys to do our work because they were not elected to go sit into IRG and drink more control one. You know,
forget it, people, man. You today's caller, good evening.
Good evening, Mabel. My name is Aaron Bisa.
Yeah, my brother, go ahead.
Mabel, in positional fight right now. I will put you on our stage right now. And we are urging our lawmaker, Marcus Thomas, to go to sections to do our work. We put that in the district and before do piece of work for us. We hire him, we say, I'm going to do the work. Yes, he can do the work. We will defeat him. We'll march. Yesterday we went to the house. We were waiting for him because he left the district. He moved to district 6. So we are waiting him. I need to go to work. We soon work. Now, anything, you got this message, you got it, man, in the house. Not outside of the house. Go to the library where they discuss your issue among yourself.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let me tell my uncle. Uncle Brian Tate, good evening.
Yeah.
They think far from ending though, and tomorrow the budget will be in the house.
Yeah, first of all, I want to inform you people that August, November, and December had no part to play in the incoming budget. The budget for paying salary for civil servants and other government officials have been approved during the special sitting. So if anybody think that salary delay because people have problems in the house, then it means that government ineffectiveness. It has nothing to do with they pay your salary between now and December. Let me go to the point. You know, I like the way Monk put it. You know, sometimes you may think that you're right, and then you hold your ground because you got strength. But when you reach to the point where the people cannot hold back, and then it means that they will be moving towards legitimacy. Because if the people are angry and then back the majority lawmaker, then it means it's like the time rebel are coming, and then Samuel Doe was losing ground, and everybody got to put more Samuel Doe, even though you were elected as the president. So that's where we are. Between now and in the next few days, if people can see reason to sit on the same gavel with your profile and then they find their number like what you are saying today, you can be there and find your number. It will be easier to lobby and find your president.
Simple.
And you have to be the national budget. But other than that, the national budget here will end the crisis one and for all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It will end the crisis one and for all. Today's caller.
Yeah, hello, Mabel.
Yes, go ahead, my brother. Your name and from where you join us.
Anyway, everybody in the GSM rule. Mabel, thank you for the discussion. It's all the matter is this. Mabel, if you have got a majority power, not for them who they put their hostage. Where was it when the speaker told them to come into a hotel or except for them to vote for him at the time? They were all inside and enjoying. So now when the speaker do receive the budget, that budget is the minority plan, let's put the go on. Because I thought some people have issue, I have started to go into the issue, but yet they want to respect I thought the rule of law. And they continue to eat that as the agenda, the national police and federal and impact them to one side, and the other things go on. People are sorry, people are sorry.
All right. All right, G, thank you so much. Even though the salaries, the budget, that one, another one, but keep a call coming 0778 339 That's the number for you to call in and be part of the Sktv show here this evening. Today's Wednesday. Yes, indeed, we are discussing all of the things that some of you were in line for. I can still recall 2023 on our fateful Tuesday morning. Some of 0778 339 just so interesting. No, they mess up. Monk, One of the callers said something quickly before I go to the line to pick up. Okay, some of you calling me. The message, the people, they're not even paying attention to the people that voted them. Or in fact, even the alcohol speaker. Or but what kind of dynamic would I meet them, of course, because I'm really interested in that. Hello?
Good evening, Rich Representative.
Yeah, my brother, good evening. Go ahead.
Yeah, the name of my friend is a joint conversation from Asian Country. That's like that. Let's have our daughter from please, that get in tune that we and for but mind you, tomorrow, if this guy continues to behave the way he did, we the citizens will have no option anymore again. So we're not sitting on continue to see our country moving down into the drain where we see our laws before like our former president said. This is not time to make laws, but to make laws. And she said plain. So we are urging our current lawmakers to please go back and do the purpose of tomorrow. To LRJ, you guys will not leave from there.
Oh.
Tell us what you want or not. If you want to continue being where they are, then it will continue to be there. But we will not continue to sit for what they got doing what they are doing.
All right, thank you. They are your lawmakers, and you voted for them. You can also call them in your various districts. To this, keep a call coming 0778 339 That's the number. And let me see to the caller from line 1. Hello. Hello.
Good evening, neighbor.
Yeah, my brother. Good evening. Go ahead, your name.
Well, thank you. I'm Prince Elkuya. I'm calling district for Mosoro County.
Go ahead, my brother.
All the panelists. And you know what really baffles some of us is that the amount of money that the anti-Kufa group are spending at the RLG is too huge. So they're trying to tell us that if they're spending more plus in the saga, they will continue to be in our hotel. Why are they abandoning our own? They don't trust each other or what? What are those people see in spending our money that's supposed to help, let's say, help some of the public facilities? For example, there's no public school around here that don't have good care.
All right, thank you. The people thinking about how to run a car and talk about public. So let's call a good evening.
A pleasant good evening to you.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Your name and from where you join us?
This is the voice of Editio, your married to the Cuba, and I can join you from District 12 to be precise, Stephen Allen Clover Estate.
Wonderful. Go ahead, my brother.
Thanks so kindly for the time and for them. What I want to say to these lawmakers is that the respect for our constitution is not an option. And to adhere to the court order, the Supreme Court order, it is a mandate that they should abide by. All of those that are concerned with anti-COVID group, all of what they are agitating for, it is not in the interest of the Liberian people. They are not telling us that the money that we're putting in the budget for education is small, or the health sector is not improving. All they want is the speaker should be removed. For what? They don't have any other new thing to be added to reprint the legislature or the House of Parliament. All they are doing now is just for their personal advertisement. And trust us, we will move on those guys. Subsequently, we are here watching them.
All right, thank you. I don't want a lot because you can just be calling this guy. They control when the protocol where you can be so. Keep your cost. Hello.
Yeah, my name is Amos. I'm trying you for police academy.
Go ahead, Amos.
Thank you for talking about discussion. We are asking Liberian are asking all the lawmakers to go in section and discuss our budget so that our country can start functioning right now. Because right now our whole country is one of us things. I suppose when we go to school, they waiting for that one budget. Security not working, they waiting for that one budget. Everybody waiting for that one budget. So we are asking that kind of let them go and do our work. If they can return to work, they will be concerned because we will not wait.
All right, Mark, you want to take calls for the end there, or I should continue?
No, take a couple of calls. I'm not positioned to take call from this side.
All right, good. All right, so then let me take more calls. To this caller, good evening. Hello? Hello? Well, I don't know, but to this caller, good evening. Yeah, my dear, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I've been struggling to get on the line. True now. Oh, my dear fellow, just what my colleague just said. So I'm Ellis Dolo calling from Single Village. Why they people keep giving us hard time in the country, fellow? You wanted my question here to them, the anti-Kufa stuff. They let the scenes speak of Kufa. So when last they get to know a point to them that Kufa is corrupt, when they get to know that Kufa is corrupt, they do my brother, they give me a hard time when they say this in the country. You ready to give me a hard time? You ready give me a hard time? I have my own way, brother. I can't have to use it. Go. See, every one of them, nobody will wait. They go and sit down.
Oh.
From district number 2, they asked me last night, he keep telling me that they want them that I'm not making my own money. Making your own money, you'll be today go there, you spend your own money. Yeah? He posting way last night, 75 cents, I'm making my own money. He will say, from that time, up to now, in my market, set me right. I think about 2 weeks plus now. You take 75.
Which one of them said, which one of them that they want from Grand Bassa County?
I said,
okay, James. Okay, I thought I was.
He said, he's posting that and he's making money, so he's spending money. Who is lying to yet?
Oh, okay.
You know, the police, the heads, they're going to them, somebody else is out with the police. Do not appear in front of them tomorrow. They are not recognized. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Very interesting. Good evening. Hello. Yeah, my dear, how you doing?
Yeah. People?
Yes, Chief, go ahead.
Okay. The team, what look at us doing?
How you all be calling up on honorable there? The guy, this guy, no, man. I'm not a kind of thing to the mate. Look, this guy, before look at you have me as joining you. These people, they are honorable.
Who are not behaving as an honorable man.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, my brother.
So we're giving them what you may done. If you not go to session tomorrow for them to have one session with the speaker, we'll move on them with the citizen.
Okay, no problem.
We'll move on them.
Now, what the Constitution says, my brother, the power is in your hand. Thank you. Good. So let's cut up. Good evening. At least we can more call.
How you doing?
I'm okay. Thank God. Go ahead.
My name is Prince. I join you from Stephen A. Double Estate. I closely follow the conversation, and in my personal opinion, I think the speaker has to do the Liberian people due diligence.
Okay.
Because what can normally happen, we know by law, if you check the Constitution, in all indication, you find out that the majority bloc, they are actually against the law. That which we understand from the perspective of the law, from the perspective of the rules and of the House.
So we should continue
of the Constitution. But also in leadership, what can happen normally is that you also depend on the support of the people. If you look at the division that's happening right now in the House, you will find out that the speaker, with all the legitimacy he has, he will not have no power to control the Liberian people activity. And many stakeholders in the Republic
and the other people too, on the other side, they have no power to also conduct the Liberian people business.
Yeah, we understand it from that level. But what I'm saying is that at times, sometimes, if you look at the law and you these are people that were legitimately elected by their constituency, and they are holding fast to something, and you look at the number. If speaker number was coming to be at least, the speaker was coming to have more members.
So what you want him to do? You want him to resign, or what you want him to do?
No, actually, I think even if they go long, if they fight go long, you get to understand that the mature stakeholders, people that hold this country, they will meet the speaker and have negotiation with him so that he can resign, so that activities can go. Because 43 against 30 some more, it cannot go anywhere. Even when those guys come back.
Hello, Chief.
Yeah.
So June 7, I think June 7, which is June 7, 2022, right? June 7 protests, you were running, right?
Yes.
And there were thousands of Liberians against who?
Against the president.
Good. So how can now the president resign until election finish? Anyway, thank you. I like that. But more will respond to that. This could be our last call of chance.
Yeah, good evening, Mabon.
Yeah, my brother, go ahead.
Yeah, Mabon, you know, Malos in a way, an Ethiopian statement, he said, the rule of law is a basis for democracy. And without the rule of law in a democracy, there is chaos. This is why democracy is guarded by the rule of law. It's one of the pillars of democracy. So I think for us, we know that Liberia is a political.
Well, shall go off the line. So, Monk, no time to waste.
You know, just before, you know, we all got different way of seeing things, analyzing things. But the Liberian people, you know, the reason they want my senior brother, what we talk behind the scene, and not me yato because most people, I say my senior brother, Mr. Dishu, they always call me that talking about us out this too. You know the reason that I want a constitutional crisis in Liberia, Mabel?
No.
A constitutional crisis does not mean that you are calling for chaos. It wants for you to put the law to a test. It won't, because the question you are going to ask yourself, when does this thing come to an end? Let's just assume, because all we have been doing, we've been talking about speculation and sentiment, because because Erin Snow and Alex Tyler was able to step aside. So we assuming that Fonanti will do the same thing. Okay, let's just assume that Fonanti cover step aside. This same group will come back 36 months from now and try to remove another speaker. So the question is, when do you put this thing to an end? And the only way you can put it to an end is through a constitutional crisis. That is where you put the rule of law to work. Democracy will be in display, and you put the pillar of the Constitution to a test. Because when the Supreme Court come in now I'm hearing people saying that we could potentially march on the majority bloc. That's what we want to see. Because when you march on the majority bloc, they will be forced to go into session and show their hand, because they already got indictment against the speaker. But the only way you can put this thing to an end, let me tell you, maybe anytime you are faced with a challenge in life or an obstacle, it also comes along with an opportunity. You just need to look for that opportunity, right? People think that there is a crisis, people think that there is a challenge, but no, there is an opportunity for us to even make some amendment to the horse standing rules and procedure so that this thing does not repeat in the future. And the only way, like I said, you can put this thing to an end is by triggering a constitutional crisis. Then the Supreme Court will come and interpret the law. Then the Supreme Court will come and tell you, you know what? You guys get certain laws and procedure that we've got to change in that country, and we can make those changes. Yeah, the thing, Melbourne. If the citizen move on the majority block, let's say tomorrow or any other time in the future, it means they will be forced to go and bring this so-called indictment, right? Because once they get to the area that they know that Fonanti Kopa is not going to resign or recuse himself, let Speaker Tyler or Speaker Snow, then they will have no option but to show their hand. And how do they show their hand? By bringing this so-called indictment that they claim forces them to lose confidence in the speaker, right? Then that's one. Then it means you are testing the Constitution. On the other hand, if you bring an indictment against Fonanti Kofa and Fonanti Kofa when you give him due process, if he's found guilty of committing a crime, then it means future speaker won't be able to abuse the budget or steal from the Liberian people, because he will reference the Fonanti Kofa scenario as a learning, as a lesson for him moving forward. That's why I keep telling you, I want for it to go to a constitutional crisis where we will put the law to work. Because if Fonanti Kofa walk out by either a recuser or removal, it means these same jokers can come back 90 days from now because of political power, because of money, and claim that they want to remove another speaker. So the only way you can settle this thing is to trigger a constitutional crisis. Then we will set a precedent for the future, moving into the future. That's all I'm hoping for. And the Liberian people themselves will be the one to witness it and be like, okay, you know what? You got claimed that that the speaker is corrupt, but you are also corrupt. Then they won't repeat the same kind of action, and we'll put an end to it once and for all. I'm not saying there may not be other future chaos in the house, but it won't be the whole nonsense about always wanting to remove a speaker. Like
because of committee, because you want to be praised on so many committees.
Yeah. A constitutional crisis will put it into bed. Everybody will get their fair share. That's it.
But with the code prohibition, I think to be really true. But from what we see, it's like they don't care about the Supreme Court anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because for them, they think it's a leadership crisis among themselves. So when it's a leadership crisis among themselves, then it means they have the right to self-governance. It means they can resolve their own conflict. So if the Supreme Court step into it, they will say you exceeded your bound. We got separation of power. But that's why I keep telling you. If we go to a constitutional crisis, you cannot tell the Supreme Court that you cannot step in, because at that point, the Supreme Court, by the same law, has the authority now to intervene. But for them, they are looking at it from a horse crisis, leadership crisis standpoint. And when they're looking at it from that angle, then it means there is a limit to the Supreme Court. But when you trigger a constitutional crisis, then the Supreme Court now, they got all right and responsibility to come in and settle score with our lawmaker. In that case, they will not be stepping over their constitutional bound or their limit. That's why I keep telling you, the only way we can put this nonsense to an end, the only way you can put this thing to an end is to trigger a constitutional crisis, because the people who want to remove Fanatic Kofa, they will come with an indictment, they will give him due process. We will witness this on Facebook, we hear it on radio, we see it on TV, then we will know where the problem is coming from. And when you can trigger a constitutional crisis that will give you a potential outcome, then maybe we can set a better precedent moving into the future, so that few guys just cannot wake up every day and talk about we want to remove a speaker, and that will be the end of this nonsense. That's how I see it. So
Wonderful.
for me, it's an opportunity. Yeah.
Wonderful. So Mark, in minute, because we have to go, we are already on the dot. So in minute closing, we gotta go.
Well, in closing, I will get to Liberian people, you have to make a decision, and we want to see you making a decision, especially for the student body, the young people in our country. This is beyond politics. We have so many challenges that we need to address in our country, and we cannot keep self-sabotaging our own progress. Those guys, they are not there for you. It's all about what they can get. It's all about their power. They think they can hold the country hostage. So whether you are a Unity Party partisan, whether you are a sedition, whether you're from the Liberty Party or the ANC, it's about time to put your partisan hat one side and put the pressure so we can trigger in a constitutional crisis. Because when we get a solution, then we set precedent.
More in the kind of situation that the time the government can be doing some things behind the scene, no.
No supervision, and that's exactly what's happening. So you can't keep giving them a free pass with this thing, because it's total distraction.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mark. And let me say thanks to all of our viewers, our listeners. Thanks to all of you for always following the SKTV show. Thanks to all of the callers. Indeed, Liberia is all we have. Look, stand up. Now, what more is saying? Stand up. So, look, sometimes we got to put things to test. It's not about, oh, you leave it. You leave it. You know, Mark, our people have the kind of belief that, by the time things go a little bit tough, they be thinking that maybe there will be chaos, there will be war, there will be death.
No, I don't know.
No.
The sky is not falling. There's an opportunity. Maybe let's assume if Fanatic Kofa, let's assume that the people who want to remove Fanatic Kofa, if we were to go to an indictment or to a trial, right, in the House, and the Supreme Court intervene, and we talk about interpreting the Constitution and who is guilty. What happens if they don't have a legitimate case to remove the speaker? Then the same people can say, okay, you know what, you guys are the problem in the country. We can file a petition to start coming after those same people that claim to remove Fanatic Kofa. And the law also gives you that leverage. But at the end of the day, and that's why I believe, in my personal opinion, that a constitutional crisis will settle the score once and for all and set precedent for the future, so that no Tom, Dick, and Harry can just wake up every day and claim that they want to remove a speaker just because of things that happen here among themselves, or because they want to give themselves power or leverage, or to be having a control over the person. No, that way you settle the score, and then moving forward, people will know how to tread. That's it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mark. And good night from our end here in Liberia. And hopefully tomorrow we will be with you people on those of you who are following us. Joseph Control, Rufus Paul Johnson. Rufus Paul Johnson, the judge joining us. Thanks to all of you. We gotta go. Good night. from our end here in Liberia. After all, God bless Liberia. You know, Mark, for me, I bleed Liberia. I talk Liberia, and every other thing I do here is all about my beloved country. So again, thank you.
All right, bro. Take care. We'll talk again.
Wonderful. So, folks, if you just coming our way, we want to say yes, we are about now to leave because we already take all of our time, 2 hours, and on the dot. So we got to go. Thanks to all of you, even though we along the way we have some technical glitches, but that was solved. And thanks to the SKTV team, Sekou Kane, Steve Bole, and also to our CEO here, Honorable Laike Belite, and the head of radio and programs, Uni Usumba Rabas. Good night from my end, and thanks to all of you for following the SKTV all of the time. Thank you, and thank you. May God bless you.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Qualified people who waiting to sell. Blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The project is giving us here the premise of death. So welcome my life without fear.
I lyrical
Master.
Clear body, so I can't ask it if you been you. Say my journey, Tina can ask my yamu. And yes, I know money, and more I know. And you love
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Muscle Rider, Lofa, and Grandbaza.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't clear ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't clear ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I forget it now ya to money. That's the baby, and I forget it now. Cause you walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Muscle Rider, Lopa, and Grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving a real and I promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Cape Mount, Monster Rider, San to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.